Okay, so you should have this paper in front of you. It's two-sided. The front side is going to be our notes, so make sure you're on the right side. So make sure you have your name on the top of the paper because the back side will be a grade. Okay, so number 1 says volume, and what we want to do here is define what is volume. Now you should know what volume is. It should be familiar to you. You did talk about volume in 5th grade, but let's go ahead and write us a definition for that. So volume is the measure of the amount of space a 3D figure can hold. Okay, and if we remember, 3D is three-dimensional, so that's something that's not flat, like a box or the classroom, something like that. So basically it's how much stuff can you put inside of a box, something that's three-dimensional. Okay, and volume is measured in cubic units. Okay, so that means your answer is going to be cubed, which would be to what power? Can you remember? If you said the 3rd power, you're correct, and we will find out in just a minute why it's to the 3rd power. Okay, and then it says a blank cube is a cube with an edge length of 1 unit, and that would be a unit cube. Okay, and if you remember, a cube is made up of squares. Okay, so the volume of a rectangular prism is the product, and you should remember what this word means, of the length, width, and height. Okay, so now see if you can answer number 5. The formula for volume of a rectangular prism is, if you said the volume equals length times width times height, you would be correct. And then number 6 says the formula for volume of a cube is, it's going to be the exact same. Okay, you're always going to multiply for volume, length times width times height. Okay? Alright, so now we're going to work on one together. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and label what would be the length, what would be the width, and what would be the height, because we're going to have to count because these are unit cubes. Okay? So I'm going to say this is the length, this is the width, and this is the height. So this is the length, this is the width, this is the height. So all you have to do is count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the length. The width is 1, 2, 3. And the height is 1, 2, 3, 4. So now all you have to do is say, what's the formula for the the volume of this shape? And by the way, this shape is a rectangular prism. So that would mean we're going to do volume equals length times width times height. So we're going to say volume equals 6 is our length times 3 is our width times 4 is our height. Okay? And if you multiply those together, 6 times 3 should be 18. Then I'm going to come over here to the side and I'm going to do 18 times 4. So 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. Okay, so our volume should be 72. And then we said these are unit cubes, so it would be units cubed to the 3rd power. Alright, now see if you can do this one on your own, this rectangular prism on your own. And just so we don't get confused, this is our length from here to here. This will be our width. And this will be our height. Okay, so height, width, length. Okay, if you said that the length is 1, 2, 3, you are correct. The width is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the height is 1, 2, 3. So the volume, or the formula for volume of a rectangular prism is volume equals length times width times height. I got that from number 6. So volume equals, our length is 3, our width is 6, and our height is 3. So if we do 3 times 6, we get 18, and I'm going to go right here, 18 times 3. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So your answer should be 54 units cubed. Alright, we're going to do one more together on this side of the page. We're going to do this shape right here. Now, who can tell me what this shape is? Okay, if you said a cube, you are correct. Okay, and anytime they give you a cube, you're going to know it's a cube because they only give you one measurement. So like if you look here, they give you all 3. Here they give you all 3. Here they only give you 1. It's because each face is a square. So if each face of the cube is a square, what are all the sides going to equal? If you said 5, you are correct. So that means the length is 5, the width is 5, and the height is 5. So all we have to do is volume equals length times width times height. And then we just plug in 5 for the length, 5 for the width, and 5 for the height. And when you multiply this out, you should get 5 times 5 is 25. And then 25 times 5 would be 125. And now this time we don't have unit blocks, so we're measuring in meters, so it would be meters cubed. And don't forget, that's very important. Okay, so now what I want you to do is try these two on your own. Alright, for this one, if you said volume equals the length of 4, a width of 3, and a height of 9, you would be correct, which would mean the volume equals 12 times 9, which is 108 inches cubed. And then for this last one on the front side, if you said volume equals our length of 15 times our width of 6 times our height of 6, and you got a total answer of 540, and we're measuring in centimeters, so it would be centimeters cubed. You are correct. Alright, so now let's look over to the back, and we're going to do 2 problems together. We're going to do number 1 and number 3. So number 1 says, what is the volume of a cube with the side length of 10? So we know a cube is made up of what kind of shape? If you say square, you're correct. So that would mean all the sides should be equal. So that would mean our length should be 10, our width should be 10, and our height should be 10. So if we do volume equals length times width times height, we should do that it equals our length of 10, our width of 10, and our height of 10. Oops, sorry, I wrote H. Our height of 10. So that should be 10 times 10 is 100, and 100 times 10 would be 1,000. And then we're measuring in centimeters, so it would be centimeters cubed. Okay? Then if we look at number 3, it says what is the volume of a rectangular prism? And if you flip back to the other side, if you look at number 6, it tells you the formula for a rectangular prism, length times width times height. So the length is 12, the width is 26, and the height is 4. So all you have to do is volume equals length of 12 times width of 26 times the height of 4. And if you do 12 times 26, we can go over here to the side and do it. 12 times 26, you should get 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. We're done with the 6. So we put a placeholder. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. Add these together. 2 plus 0 is 2. 7 plus 4 is 11. And 2 plus 1 is 3. 312. So that was 12 times 26. That's 312. And then we have to do 312 times 4. So 312 times 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12. So our volume should equal 1,248, and then we're measuring in inches cubed. Okay, so this is our answer here, and this is our answer for number 1. So now I want you to go ahead and do 2, 4, 5, 6, and number 7 on your own. If you have questions, be sure to raise your hand and ask me. And then when you're done, I want you to bring your paper to me and I will be grading this side. So should we miss number 1 or number 3? Your answer should be no because we did it together. And make sure, if you don't mind, circle your answers for all the ones that you do on your own so I'll know which part is your answer. And show all of your work.